All right, welcome back to the Virtue Bowling Supply YouTube channel. My name is Chris, and I'm here to bring the high rev perspective.
And my name is Josh, and I will be bringing the low rev perspective. Today we got a slightly different type of video for you guys. We'll be going through balls from the last month and a half-ish, 2 months, and essentially re-rating them on a sport-like condition.
Today we're going to be bowling on 40-foot Athens, so about 2.5-ish to 1, so pretty flat. It'll be a good test for these balls to see how they stand. So we have our initial ratings that we did on house shots, and then we will re-rate them today for sport, kind of have both perspectives of house and sport. So with that being said, let's get right into it.
First ball we'll be starting off with is going to be the 900 Global Origin EX.
I like this one out of box when we threw it on house. Thought it was pretty versatile for higher ratio pattern. Hey, cool. They all fell.
Yep. We've only taken just a few shots here on this pattern, so it is pretty much fresh.
Right.
4 shots a piece, you know. So really isn't any mystery at the moment. So.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like this one's slightly quicker to friction than most bigger balls.
Yeah, for me, I feel like it allows me to be faster with it and get away with it because it's quick enough to get off of it. Where if I was quicker with, say, like an Ion Max in the same category, there'd be no shot.
You've had some success with this ball on house shots for sure, right?
Yeah, definitely. I almost shot 300 with it a couple weeks ago. I just feel like it's that big ball where, again, I feel like it shapes down lane, but it's still slow enough to be a big ball. Right. You know, it's not the quick jerky change of direction, but it just kind of checks all the boxes, does all the right things, and really good at different surfaces. So.
On a couple of different patterns, and for me it kind of feels like it's a little too niche for me. I feel like if it was just a little bit earlier, it might be a little bit more useful, especially when you need to use it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of niche for me.
I get that. So I originally rated this one a fire. For me, just obviously I haven't missed, but again, I love this ball. I feel like this ball for me is just kind of been that big ball. So I would have to probably push it up to a nuts after throwing it for some time. Yeah. Again, I feel like this is one big ball that I just kind of drift toward. I have a couple others, but this one always seems to be the key in the lock.
Always kind of checks the boxes.
Yep.
Yeah, for me, on the house shot when we first saw it, I gave it a fire. I've thrown it a few times and I've seen it go down the lane, and for me, it's nothing that really wowed me for how I throw the ball. I think I'm gonna have to put this down in a meh category. It just seems a little too niche for me to be in the fire category. So
now we're gonna go ahead and throw the hammer special effect.
Right. First shot with the special effect. I expect this one to be a little cleaner and a little sharper than the Origin EX.
Well,
I really got to get
the lefty hits today. They're working.
Definitely gonna have to get this one out a little further towards the gutter.
It's tough because I still believe there's an OB out there. It's just how quickly are you getting it to that OB? That's gonna determine whether it hooks off of it or not. But.
Yeah, but I mean, definitely from that one compared to the EX, it's
you can see how much quicker it is. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't thrown this one a ton on other things outside of the main video. I think I originally said that this was gonna be a meh, and I feel like I've kind of just seen that.
Yeah. See, that one checked up really early.
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't mind it position-wise, but it just hooked like instantaneously. Yeah, this one for me, I've also liked, but it definitely, for me, I would say it's more kind of in that niche spot, just because it's a big ball, but yet it's shiny. So it's like, it needs some friction, but you also like, for me, it's like, it's not the ball I choose to throw on something super oily or super, you know, has a lot of volume kind of deal.
Right.
So it is kind of in that weird spot of like, when do I throw this?
Right, yep.
That one never had a chance.
I think I did throw this at one tournament, and it was a longer-ish pattern, and I tried throwing this on fresh, and it was just ever so slightly too clean.
Yeah.
Just felt like I needed something to be a little bit earlier, a little bit more rounded of a shape.
Yeah, I agree. For me, I've been throwing it on those house shots where it's just something that blends, and this is like for me, it has been like the piece that blends, but every time I've gone to a sport shot, it gets a little confusing, because I do think it is just a hair too clean for those harder type shots.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I initially gave this one a meh, and again, just from what I've seen, I just think it's a little too clean. I can definitely tell if you like just slam it with surface, it might be a little bit earlier, a little bit better shape-wise. But for me to have to feel like I have to do that just isn't what I kind of want to see. I want the ball to do that originally, I guess. So this one's still going to be in the meh category for me.
I originally rated this one a fire, and I would say I probably have to keep it at that fire. I feel like it's been really good. It just hasn't been like the best,
right?
You know, so it's something I can still throw, still may look good, but then there's other balls out there that could do that same thing for just a little bit longer and do it a little bit better. So, but again, still a fire for me. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the Turbo X now and throw a couple shots with that one.
All right, first shot with the Turbo X. This one's definitely gonna be a cleaner shape, so probably maybe move a couple left. Still be pretty forward with it.
Okay, I'm honestly surprised that one forfeit, because that was on the brink of like, oh no, that's too far left.
That's what I thought with mine too.
That's definitely the ball showing its cleanness though. It's like, I guarantee if I got that one further right, there may have been enough friction out there, but that probably would have like flat 10 from where I was trying to actually target.
Yeah, I've actually really liked this one on house shots.
Yeah, it's a clean, quick enough ball, but still gives you some control.
Yeah, really that was pretty good.
Solid.
This is kind of, this and the Crown Victor have kind of been my go-to weak balls. I feel like this one might be a touch stronger, but
yeah, definitely I would view them as like 1-2 for sure. Yeah. Let's see if I can just trust this one a little bit, throw it a little better.
I think in the original video I gave this one a fire. It's gonna have to stay in fire for me. Even on something that's really tough and really flat, this one still looks really good, so it's gonna have to stay in the fire category for me.
For me, ditto that. I rated it a fire originally, and I would still have to keep it there. I've thrown it on some house shots where once the big ball goes away, this is the ball I go to, and it just does the right things. I wish it would stay. Typically, I find myself getting out of it quicker than I'd like.
I feel like it shines up pretty quick.
But it still does the right thing, and again, it's still worthy of a spot in the bag. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw the Hazmat Pearl.
First shot with the Hazmat Pearl. I feel like I'm gonna stay in the same spot as I did with the Turbo X. This one, cleaner cover, but way bigger core, so might see a little hook stop. That one's really to the gutter.
Oh,
there you go.
The first shot I was like,
wasn't sure if it was gonna
hook back, but like we said, everything hasn't really stopped hooking yet.
Right.
So.
And with this playing like a little bit of a shorter quote-unquote pattern,
Yeah.
I feel like I've had this one look really good on shorter stuff.
Yeah.
The core's strong enough that it likes to really get off the spot.
Same, like, and I'm going to do the exact same thing you said, stay in the same spot.
Yeah.
It's going to be a completely different shape as the turbo, but I think it'll be in the same zone.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So I'll probably have to move just a hair, but that was a good shot. I haven't thrown this one much, just because a lot of the leagues I've been bowling have been trios leagues, and so we've been like 3 games trios, which sometimes you don't even get out of the big ball. So
No, yeah, that's fair.
But I filmed this just a couple times, and I'm starting to like it more. I throw it.
Nice. Yeah. No, yeah, I've definitely enjoyed throwing this one. I've thrown it quite a few times. Really good shape. I really like the strong pearl symmetric balls. Yeah. Just the shape that they give me.
Yeah.
Just can't really beat it, to be honest.
I almost want to say like almost Zen type shape. It's close.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I can see them being similar.
I think it's a little bit more hook stoppy than
definitely goes a little bit more forward, but
Yeah.
for me it reminds me of like seeing it in the same zone.
Yep.
And again, not the best shot, but still somehow got 9, which I'll take. Anytime it's less than 3 to 1 and you can miss and get 9, I am a happy camper.
I agree. This one has definitely been a winner for me. I've liked it. When we first threw in the original video, I think I gave it a fire. This is 100% staying in the fire category. I think it's versatile enough to fit in that strong pearl symmetric ball shape, and this is one I've been kind of going to since we got it. So it's definitely going to stay in the fire category.
For me, I originally rated it a meh. This one's tough because I feel like I'm going to push it to fire, but it's definitely on the border between meh and fire for me, but I would say just enough to make it to fire, just because of what I've seen it do on a couple of different shots now. So now we're going to go ahead and throw the DV8 Hater Pearl next.
First shot with the Hater Pearl. This one's going to be much cleaner, but still just as slow off the spot as the Hazmat, so I'm going to have to move a little left. Way more down lane.
Yeah,
way more down
lane. But this one is the one for me that's like the underdog. I hated it in the first video. Absolutely despised it. But now I like bowled with it in league this week, and it looked good. I just haven't really given it a chance.
Right.
So this one's starting to kind of surprise me a little bit.
It's crazy to me how this one is so down lane, but also still slow.
Yeah,
like
it's a very weird combo. But I said, I'm starting to like it just because it does blend.
Right.
With still being quick enough off spot.
I agree. That's crazy.
Yep.
That's nuts ball X right there.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
A little right, a little in, little perfect.
Down enough to get through the fronts, but slow enough to blend the friction, even though it's a flatter pattern.
That's the ultimate combo.
I like to see it. Left again.
Oh,
But still
that held.
forward enough.
Well, like I said, I feel like it's starting to carry down a little bit, and when this is in our holding somehow.
Not as bad. A couple left, just to see how much I can go with this one.
What's the limits?
There it is.
Okay. There it is. There's the limit.
The flat 10. A good shape-wise though, just a little too slow off it for being a little too far left on this one. Well, I like this one out of the box, and I really still like this one. I haven't thrown it a ton, just because I feel like there's so many different bowling balls to choose from nowadays, that this one hasn't quite got the bag time. But from here, it looks really, really good. I kind of had nuts ball reaction with it. This is definitely going to stay in the fire category though, just because of how many options there are in this kind of spot to put it into nuts. So this one's definitely going to stay in fire for me.
For me, I originally rated it a potato, I think.
Yeah, I think
so I was not very nice to this one, but again, this one has kind of been the underdog for me. I feel like it's flipped around. So from what I've seen and what we're bowling on today, I'm going to have to push it to a fire. I shot 520 for 2 with it. That's the only other time I've thrown it since the review. So it's like really hard to, there's not a lot of data, but I do really like the shape of this one. So now we're going to go ahead and throw some shots with the Max Throw Hybrid.
First shot with the Max Throw Hybrid. I think I'm going to play in the same spot I did with the Hater Pearl. It's a different shape, but I think it's...
Be a little quicker off of it.
Yeah. Oh, it's slow enough to
I thought I was going to carry it.
Big forward.
I feel like every miss has just somehow got 9 or 10 somehow for both of us.
Take those all day, every day.
Yep. I'm going to try to throw at the same spot I threw my last shot with the Hater. Should be in the same zone.
Nice.
Yeah, you can see it got there like sooner because it was cleaner, I felt like.
Right.
But it definitely came off a little harder.
Yeah. I think I can make the same move that I tried to make with the Hater and getting a little bit further left.
Yeah, this one I think gets off of it.
Yep, and that was even a little bit inside of where I wanted it.
Yeah, but it still got through it a little bit. Yep, just the cleanness in that, or just the ball. I feel like the cover's clean enough to get through it, but it's still smooth enough to give you somewhat of a predictable shape. Get out of there, 9 pin.
Good shot.
Thank you.
No, yeah, this one's been really good. I think the last couple of Motiv balls have been pretty good. That's a good shot. Better. So that was further right and
it looked like it got it there.
More.
Yeah, got it there a little soon. Starting to transition a bit. Now that friction's starting to become too much to get it there. Which we see happen at points in tournaments, just knowing when that's going to happen and being aware of it.
But still, shape-wise, I like that off my hand. So that was pretty good. All right, I think I initially gave this one a fire. I'm pretty sure I put it in a fire. This one was really good out of box for me, and it's kind of been that pretty versatile, low end of the bag, weak piece that you can even throw in. It's almost fresh. So I think this one's definitely going to stay in the fire category for me. I've personally really enjoyed throwing this one quite a bit. Yeah.
This one, same kind of deal for me. I originally rated it a fire, and it's going to have to stay there. I feel like it's just been really that really strong second ball out of the bag where, you know, once they start to get a little bit of carry down, this for sure gets off of it, but it's still slow enough to still be big enough to not have to wait till there's like no oil on it. So stay in that fire category for me as well. So now we're going to go ahead and throw the IQ Tour AI next.
All right, first shot with the IQ Tour AI. Oh, that's very left.
Get through it. Oh, okay. If you told me that was going to be 10 before the ball hit the pins, I would have said no, probably 3, 6, 10. But what did we say? The theme of the day is get 9 or more.
Right. I feel like this one out of box was like really quick to friction, but I feel like the more and more you throw it, the slower and slower it gets.
That's how I felt. I feel like it's gotten more forward the more I've thrown it.
Which is more IQ shape that you would have thought out of box, but out of box this was like wicked quick.
Yeah, I'm staying where I moved when I kind of looped it with the thrill just because I feel like this is going to hook a little earlier. See, it like hooks and then just kind of rolls.
Right, that was more hook stop than the throw was.
For sure, yep.
And you kind of do the same thing. Trust it, get it out there.
This one I've also felt like over time I've had to be more open because again, if I shut it down, it's too forward to where it either hooks or on some patterns where it's too clipped, it never hooks.
I agree. Just a little too down lane.
Yeah.
This has probably been my favorite bottom of the bag ball so far.
This is one where I've loved it, but I'm actually starting to kind of almost not like it the more I throw it.
Yep.
Which is, there's not a lot of balls out there for me that do that, but this is starting to do that where it just like, I feel like no matter what I'm bowling on, it just kind of, I don't know. I feel like there's something better I could be throwing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I mean, is like I get in and now it's like too clean to get off spot.
Yeah.
Or not, well, I wouldn't say too clean, but just not enough down lane.
Right, there's not enough continuation left in the ball.
Yeah, because it's already, I mean, it technically would be too big, but somehow it still feels clean enough to where it's like if I go right off of that, it's going to hook too much.
Yeah. That one I had to actually get around a little bit more to see it continue a little bit.
Yep.
But that's also something that you can do with this ball, with it being just a little bit stronger of a weaker piece. You can kind of,
Yeah. No, I definitely agree.
Won't jump off you as much.
Physically, if I were able to execute that and do that consistently, I would. But my expertise is being more forward and not trying to.
And it's scary to do that on something that's really flat.
Especially when it's flat, because you're like, this could be ace, this could be six.
Yeah.
For me, like I said, I originally rated this one a fire. I'm probably going to move it to meh, just because, again, like I haven't been in love with it. I know it struck a couple times here, but it just hasn't really been reading the lane great for me the last couple times I've thrown it. So moving it down to a meh for me.
Yeah, I think it's just the longevity of this ball. It was really, really good out of box in the first few games that you throw it. But like we were saying, the longer you throw it, it seems like it gets a little too hit or miss, being a little bit too early and not as much continuation for what it really should be. So I think I'm going to keep it in fire just because I haven't hit that point where I don't like it yet. So yeah, it's definitely going to stay in the fire category for me.
So now we're going to go ahead and throw the GB5 Pearl next.
First shot with the GB5 Pearl. I think this one's going to be a little too clean for this, but we're going to give her a whirl.
Okay, good shot.
Really, really sharp off of it.
Yeah, as expected.
Yep.
Yeah, this ball for me hasn't been thrown a ton. I've thrown it a couple times, but it's in that part of the bag where like I don't really ever need to throw a quick symmetrical pearl. If I'm being truly honest. I don't mind the shape. It's just the lane never really calls for that for me, at least for my eye.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Solid.
Well, see how that one, compared to the IQ, like I feel like the IQ would have overhooked there.
Yeah.
But that one got through it just a bit. And
yeah, I feel like
more off spot.
Yeah, I feel like every time I've gotten to this point in the bag, this one has been a little too quick.
Yeah.
Some of it's just a little too sharp off the friction, and sometimes harder to control. Yeah, and then it didn't quite see it.
That's the first one where it kind of wiggled for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just felt like it was just a little too clean.
Yeah. Was a little amped up on speed, but like that's, even when I have gotten fast, that's the first shot where I felt like it hasn't wanted to hook.
It didn't even try.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really good off my hand.
I thought so too.
Wow.
Yeah, just again, I feel like if we were having to choose a certain ball to throw on this right now, this one would just be a hair too clean.
Yeah, I agree.
It would need maybe touch a surface, but I also feel like that would make it roll out sooner, so it may honestly make it kind of worse.
Right.
But
Personally, I feel like it came good enough out of the box to not have to take the shine off of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I probably wouldn't put surface on it.
I originally rated this one a fire, I believe.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm probably gonna have to push it down to a meh. Again, I just feel like it's been, the more I've thrown it, the more I've realized it's a touch clean. And for me, especially on what I've been bowling on recently, it just isn't, it needs stuff to blend, and this is just what I call the bipolar reaction, all or nothing. So,
I totally agree. I think I gave this one a fire as well originally, but this one's definitely gonna be in the meh category for me. Just something that when I want to get to it, it's just a little too clean, too sharp to friction to really trust. So it's definitely gonna be the meh.
And last but not least, we're gonna throw the fun and my favorite, the Crown Victory.
First shot with the Crown Victory.
Holy nuts.
That could have knocked down 20 pins.
That's crazy. It got down the lane a little further than I was expecting,
And
but
then it just ripped.
this is like the perfect blend of like rounded but also continuous.
Yeah.
I think it's so.
This ball has been just the ultimate ball for me the last like month and a half, 2 months.
That was almost
Literally
identical ball
almost
motion.
like my version of what you just did.
That was literally identical ball motion.
Yep. Literally got to the point where I'm like, oh, it's a little right.
Down
But I'm
lane.
like, I know it'll hook, it's just when is it going to hook?
That was right.
And I especially feel like right now, we haven't really done it yet, but the miss in with this ball will still, I feel like it would be good.
Yeah.
Just because it'll get off of it the right way.
But it's still round enough that it doesn't hockey stick.
Oh,
There's
what
your
did I
miss
say?
Trip four. What do you know?
It's almost like I predicted that shot. I didn't mean to do that, people.
Just
I'm sorry.
Put it out in the universe.
But as a demonstration,
I'm gonna move a few left just to see what
This one can do. All right, hooked. Moved to where there was not enough carry down in the middle part of the lane.
Yeah.
Those first two shots were
ace for sure. Yeah.
immaculate.
Yeah, this is a ball where I feel like I can throw when they hook, but also when there's volume.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when there's volume, it's quick enough off spot, it retains just enough energy, but it's not like so clean to where it's unpredictable. But then when it's short, I feel like I can just speed up and it still shapes the right way. Or lower volume, I mean.
For me, this one was a fire out of the box, and the more and more I see it, it's definitely going to be in the nuts category. This one was by far one of the better releases that have come out recently, so it's definitely going to move up to the nuts category for me.
And same thing for me, originally was a fire, but I'm going to have to move it to nuts. For me, I think this is the best ball of the year so far.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I think this ball just checks all the right boxes, and I've seen so many different types of bowlers throw it, and they all have had
really good
success with it. So other than that, thanks for watching. We hope you like this style of video. We plan to do these a couple more frequently in the future, just to kind of give, again, our little more recap of the balls, because sometimes with only 10 shots, it's really hard to fully know the ball. So this is just to kind of help us and you guys get a better idea of what these balls do.
Also, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.